Hello and welcome on House News. This is our special episode commemorating Indonesia's 81st Independence Day. We take a look at the work of the Indonesian House of Representatives in serving the people and supporting Indonesia's progress. Throughout the 2025 to 2026 session year, the Indonesian House has carried out its legislative, budgetary, and oversight functions as Indonesia celebrates its 81st independence anniversary. Parliamentarians continue to bring the voices of the people into the policy-making process, turning public aspirations into policy.
From hearing the people's aspirations to working together to shape public policies, the Indonesian House of Representatives has worked throughout the 2025 to 2026 session year to carry the people's aspirations into policy amid the national changing priorities and challenges. As the people's representative body, the House continues to fulfill its legislative, budgetary, and oversight roles, addressing issues that matter to the people through the policy-making process. In its legislative function, the House actively promotes the formulation of regulations to respond to the public's demand. Several bills have been completed and approved in plenary session, while a number of other strategic bills remain under discussions. These include the Asset Forfeiture Bill, the Election Bill, the National Education System Bill, the One Data Indonesia Bill, the Road Traffic and Road Transportation Bill, as well as the Manpower Bill. The discussion of these various bills shows the legislative function is not only about the number of laws produced, but also about their substance and their ability to respond to the needs of the people. On the other hand, the National Legislation Program also reviews and adjusts its priorities to keep them in line with the country's needs and development goals. In its budgetary function, the House together with the government discusses and approves the state budget as a key instrument for implementing national development programs. The 2026 state budget is one of the outcomes of budgetary process with funding allocated toward various national priorities, including education, healthcare, social protection, and development in all regions in Indonesia. However, approving the budget is only the beginning. The House also oversees the use of public funds, ensuring that government programs operate effectively, transparent, and deliver benefits to the people. The oversight function holds a significant role in the legislative process. Through its parliamentary organs and steering committees, the House oversees the implementation of law, evaluate government policies, and highlight various issues affecting the people. Furthermore, the House focuses its oversight on a wide range of strategic issues, including healthcare, education, food security, energy, transportation, land, employment, and law enforcement. The House carries out oversight not only through meeting at Parliament, but also through working visits to directly collect information from local communities. During the recess periods, members of the House meet their constituents in their electoral district. During this working visit, the House gathers public input on various issues, from infrastructure, education, healthcare, and employment. The House also brings input from farmers, fishers, and informal workers into the policy-making process. In addition, the House also expands opportunities for the public to raise concerns through the People's Aspiration Body. The People's Aspiration Body addresses public complaints, including issues related to agrarian affairs, employment, and government employees with work agreements. On the international stage, parliamentary diplomacy strengthens Indonesia's ties with friendly countries. Through the Committee for Interparliamentary Cooperation, the House promotes Indonesia's interest in international forums. In July 2026, the House received Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his state visit to Indonesia. The same month, the House also hosted the 70th AIPA Caucus Session. These events reflected the commitment to stronger interparliamentary cooperation as well as its efforts to support ASEAN centrality amid global challenges. A year of work is not only seen from the activities inside the parliament. It is about giving voice to public aspiration through legislation, budget decisions, oversight, and public policy. The real measure of this work is in its impact on people's life and in its contribution to the future of Indonesia. Representing the people is an ongoing process as the needs and challenges of society continue to evolve. The work over the past year reflects a continued effort to respond to public aspiration, strengthen policy accountability, and ensure that government responds to the needs of the people. It also means bringing government closer to the people, addressing their concerns, and keeping their interests in focus as Indonesia moves forward. From the House of Representatives, the work continues, responding to public aspirations, working together to formulate policies, and ensuring that every decision serves the people and supports Indonesia's development. TVR Parliament Report.
Indonesian lawmakers currently review the Indigenous Peoples Bills with the Legislation Committee holding working visits in regions like Southwest Papua to finalize the draft. The bill aims to strengthen the protection of customary lands, cultural heritage, and the rights of indigenous communities.
Indigenous peoples are an important part of Indonesia's history and cultural diversity. Their communities have deep connections to land, forests, natural resources, and cultural heritage preserved and passed down through generations. However, these inherited rights and traditions continue to face legal and policy challenges, including agrarian conflicts, natural resource management, and the protection of cultural heritage. Therefore, the drafting of the Indigenous Peoples Bill is needed to provide legal recognition and also to strengthen the legal position of indigenous communities in dealing with development projects, land management, and investment activities. The Legislation Committee of the House emphasized the bill should not be drafted solely from behind a desk. To ensure a comprehensive and inclusive legislative process, input from indigenous communities, local governments, traditional leaders, academics, and legal practitioners continues to be collected from various regions. Papua is one of the regions where indigenous communities have a strong presence. It also has distinctive customary land rights and a special regulatory framework unlike those in other regions.
Nah, dalam rangka membuat rancangan undang-undang nih, kita datang hari ini kemari agar mendapatkan masukan dari semua masyarakat, elemen masyarakat adat, baik dari cabang sampai Merauke, dari Myangas sampai Pulau Rote. Nah, kita lakukan itu untuk mendapatkan masukan. Jangan ada satu suku pun yang tidak memberi masukan sehingga kita seolah-olah membatasi. Ini penting, sehingga butuh waktu lama.
As indigenous communities across Indonesia have different characteristics, public participation becomes necessary. The needs of indigenous communities in Papua may not be the same as those of indigenous communities in other regions. As a result, national legislation should provide a legal framework capable of accommodating the diverse systems applied across Indonesia. Existing regulations should remain recognized while new protective measures should be designed to avoid conflicts or overlaps with established rules.
Ya, karena Papua ini diberlakukan daerah otonomi khusus, seharusnya peraturan di tingkat nasional jangan menimpa peraturan otonomi khusus. Namanya juga undang-undang otonomi khusus, jadi khusus dia. Jadi nggak bisa ditimpa-timpa lagi dengan undang-undang yang lain.
Regional distinctiveness should not mean indigenous communities have to struggle for their rights without proper legal protection. Instead, this bill serves as a bridge between the national recognition of indigenous people's rights and the legal and social condition of each region. In Papua, issues concerning indigenous communities are closely connected to land, forests, culture, and relation among ethnic groups. Therefore, the bill must be based on the realities faced by communities and the provisions do not create new conflicts. The Indigenous Peoples Bill must provide more than formal recognition. It must address the challenges indigenous communities face in protecting their land, managing forest resources, and dealing with investment activities in their territories. Therefore, the state has a responsibility to protect indigenous communities while recognizing the different conditions in each region. National regulations should not apply the same approach to every community, as each has its own social, cultural, and customary practices. The role of the state is to ensure indigenous rights are recognized, legally protected, and respected in practice.
Supaya kondisi real di lapangan, kondisi yang benar-benar sesuai dengan kehidupan masyarakat adat, demikian juga hubungan satu suku dengan suku yang lain, dengan seluruh masyarakat Indonesia ini bisa kita sampaikan, sehingga mudah-mudahan nanti undang-undang yang dihasilkan itu undang-undang yang benar-benar sesuai dengan kondisi masyarakat yang ada di daerah atau di kelompok-kelompok masyarakat adat ini, dan tidak menimbulkan justru bentrokan dan lain sebagainya.
Indigenous communities can become strategic partners of the state in protecting the environment, preserving cultural heritage, and developing local economic potential based on traditional knowledge. Therefore, the drafting of the Indigenous People Bill must not stop at formal recognition. The regulation must provide legal certainty, strengthen the position of indigenous communities, minimize conflict, and also creating opportunities for them to become empowered and prosperous. From Sabang to Merauke, the Indigenous Peoples Law should show Indonesia's diversity does not require every community to follow the same system. The state has a responsibility to protect their rights, recognize their distinctiveness, and ensure indigenous communities continue to be part of Indonesia's development. TVR Parliament Report.
The spirit of independence is not only reflected in the work of Parliament, it can also be seen in the symbol and tradition that brings together Indonesians every August. After the break, only on House News. Indonesia is preparing to mark the 81st anniversary of its independence, commemorating the historic proclamation read by Sukarno and Muhammad Hatta on 17 August 1945. This year's celebration adopts the official theme, Sovereign, Just and Prosperous Indonesia.
The 81st anniversary of Indonesia's independence is represented by a logo highlighting unity amid diversity. The design combines the numbers 8 and 1, creating a symbol for this year's national celebration. Beyond marking the anniversary, the logo also reflects the values of togetherness and the importance of remaining united as a nation. The number 8 plays a central role in the design, with its interlink from creating a significant visual element. The lines flow into one another, showing how different elements can come together in a single form. This design represents mutual cooperation and synergy, highlighting the strength to support one another, working toward the same purpose, and growing together. The combination of 8 and 1 also conveys the idea of a shared path toward a common aspiration. The two numbers are brought together as one composition, reflecting a collective effort to reach a better future. This message is in keeping with the theme, namely sovereign, just, and prosperous Indonesia, highlighting the country's focus on self-reliance, equal opportunity and justice, as well as shared prosperity. For the first time, the selection of the Independence Anniversary logo has involved the public participation. The government stated the winning entry captured 44% of the total vote. The government has framed this participatory process as a symbol that the independence celebration belongs not just to the state, but to the Indonesian people as a whole.
Every August 17, Indonesians come together to celebrate Independence Day with fun tradition and a strong sense of community. From classic games like sack races and cracker eating contests to activities designed for the workplace, the spirit of the celebration continues to bring people together.
What's the most exciting part of celebrating Independence Day? It's the fun games that are organized. While Independence Day games usually take place in community or residential areas, companies can also organize similar events to create a fun and engaging atmosphere for their employees amid busy schedules. The Independence Day spirit is also making its way into the workplace, with employees taking part in a desk and workspace decoration competition. Ordinary work areas are given a festive makeover with a red and white colors, miniature flags, and creative display taking over desks and office corners, turning their workspace into part of the August 17th celebration. There is also an Independence-themed dress code competition. Employees not only show up in red and white, but also come in a variety of styles, from traditional attire, kebaya, and batik, to vintage looks inspired by the 1945 era. As a result, the usually formal working atmosphere becomes more relaxed, lively, and colorful. Another modern addition, video making competitions are also becoming part of August 17th celebration. Employees can showcase teamwork, highlight everyday life at the office, or present Independence team stories in short videos formats. The content can be packaged as a creative videos or even follow current social media trends. August 17 competition in the workplace are no longer just about who is the fastest or the strongest. They are also about creativity, teamwork, and the joy of celebrating independence together. These are just a few fun office games to celebrate Independence Day. Even a limited space, you can create a festive atmosphere and strengthen employee relationship.
That's all for this special edition of House News. Thank you for watching. Happy Independence Day, Indonesia.